In retrospect, I'm just going to shut the up from now on.
Oliver Hudson wants to clear the air. The cleaning lady actor wants to clarify his comments about experiencing childhood trauma from his mom, Goldie Hawn's Hollywood lifestyle, saying in his podcast Sibling Rivalry with his co-host and sister, Kate Hudson, during a March 31st episode.
I'm even afraid to talk about it to inflame this even more because everything is taken so far out of context. And again, like you said, they're using these buzzwords to then create and Frankenstein a sentence together for a click. If you listen to the whole thing, it's more about sort of my child feelings in that moment rather than me and how I feel about mom as a parent. There was no trauma coming from my mother's, up the way she raised me in any way whatsoever. You're speaking from a 5-6-year-old perspective. That's what I was doing. Without her, again, I'd be nothing.
And while the 47-year-old expressed he was afraid to talk about it again, he felt it was necessary to clarify that there was no trauma from Goldie, who started dating Kurt Russell 1 year after splitting from Oliver and Kate's father, Bill Hudson, in 1982.
I don't know who I would be without my mother. I mean, I really can't even fathom it. The love that I have for her and the respect and the reverence that I have for her is beyond anything. So it was just, completely taken out of context. It was used for clickbait, and it is what it is. I just let it roll and, deal with the repercussions.
Oliver's explanation comes 2 weeks after discovering he faced trauma during his childhood during a wellness retreat, telling the podcast in a March 17th episode,
"My mother was the one that came up the most. My mother was the one that I had almost the most trauma about, interestingly enough, because she was my primary caregiver, and I was with her all of the time. So I felt unprotected at times. She would be working in a way, or she had new boyfriends that I didn't really like. She'd be living her life, and she was an amazing mother. This was my own perception as a child who didn't have a dad and who needed her to be there, and she just wasn't sometimes. And she came out far more than even my dad, who wasn't there. But when I was with him, it was incredible. He paid attention to me. We played football. We played basketball. We were on the beach. He took me and taught me how to fish. I mean, he was so present, but he just was never there.